Many know her as the wife of Pierre Casiraghi, the younger son of Princess Caroline of Monaco. However, Beatrice Borromeo is much more than that. A journalist and aristocrat, this Italian woman has been working as a film director and producer for some time now. She has already created several documentaries, among which she explores the less pleasant side of the life of Vittorio Emanuele of Savoy, the son of Italy's last king, Umberto II. Born in August 1985, Borromeo hails from one of Italy's most influential aristocratic families. Her father, Carlo Ferdinando Borromeo, is the Count of Arona, and her mother, Paola Marzato, is the daughter of designer Marta Marzato and Count Umberto Marzato, heir to a textile industrial dynasty. I grew up in the countryside with my father, she once explained. My mother came and went. Then at 8, I moved in with her in Milan. I left home at 16 because we didn't get along, from 16 until I moved in with Pierre. I lived on my own. I supported myself by working as a model. I participated in Milan Fashion Week a couple of times a year and did a few advertising campaigns. That allowed me to pay for housing and continue my studies. It was fun and made good money. In fact, I've never made as much money as I did back then at 19. She made a leap to television thanks to Italian journalist Michele Santoro, who offered her a collaboration in a debate show on state television after reading her interview, where she, among other things, criticized Silvio Berlusconi. In 2008, she met Pierre Casiraghi at the prestigious Bocconi University in Milan, where he studied economics and she studied law. In 2015, they sealed their love first with a civil ceremony in the gardens of the Grimaldi Palace and then with a religious ceremony on one of the Borromeo family islands. Before officially becoming part of the Grimaldi family, the young woman co-hosted the television program Anno Zero, collaborated with a magazine dedicated to sustainable development and environmental protection, launched by her sister-in-law Charlotte Casiraghi, and worked at the independent Italian newspaper Il Fatto Quotidiano, where she usually handled the economic section and occasionally interviewed writers. I had to sacrifice my job and move to Monaco, but I did it because my husband lives here, runs his companies from here, and earns more money than I do, she admitted. I used to put work first, but since getting married, it's taken a backseat. I come from a family where I had a difficult childhood because we didn't know how to solve problems like adults. So for me, it's important to protect my family. My husband and I have 2 small children. And being together is crucial in recent years. Borromeo often appears on the lists of the most stylish women, and in particular, a British magazine named her the most stylish person in the European royal family. In 2021, she became the face of one of her favorite brands, the French company Christian Dior, which justified its choice by saying that the Italian reflects multifaceted femininity. Shortly before that, Charlotte Casiraghi was named an ambassador for Chanel, a brand her mother had always admired. Borromeo is also often seen in the company of Monaco's ruling family at social events such as the Monaco Grand Prix or the traditional Rose Ball, where her mother-in-law acts as hostess. According to some sources, Caroline initially met her with coldness, partly because the young woman belonged to a profession, journalism, that had always been critical of her, and partly because of some of the Italian statements. Nevertheless, over time, thanks to her reserved behavior and love for Pierre, she became like a daughter to the Princess of Monaco. In fact, now they often share laughter and confidences at the many public events they attend together. Furthermore, they are united by a passion for fashion, reading, and culture. During the promotion of her latest documentary film, Borromeo announced that she, along with her brother-in-law Andrea Casiraghi and Dimitri Rassam, the former husband of her sister-in-law Charlotte, is preparing a film franchise about the origins of the Grimaldi family. It will be a big-budget film with major distributors, she said. The decision to make the film will allow us to create sequels, prequels, and even a television series in the future. The Principality has an incredible history, a history of connections that go back 8 centuries to protect a community that essentially is still closely linked to the princes and tradition. Beatrice Borromeo's life is a story of a woman who is not afraid to be herself despite the pressure of societal expectations and obligations. her journey from a young aristocrat forced to overcome difficulties on her own to a successful journalist, director, and part of one of the most famous families in Europe showcases the strength of character and deep inner conviction that a woman can and should walk her own path, even if that path sometimes leads to difficult decisions. The transition from an independent and active professional life to a new role as a wife and mother, Beatrice exemplifies how one can rethink priorities without losing individuality and the meaning of life. She remains true to her beliefs, interests, and creative drive, finding ways to balance personal life with professional ambitions. Her relationship with Princess Caroline is another example of how important time, understanding, and respect are in family relationships. Initially met with distrust, Beatrice managed to show that behind her external glamour in journalistic articles lies a person with deep moral principles, sincerely loving and caring for her husband and children. Her intention to work on a major film franchise dedicated to the origins of the Grimaldi family also underscores her commitment to preserving cultural heritage and the importance of the connection between past and present. In her life, aristocratic heritage and a modern vision of the world harmoniously intertwine, making her a unique figure on the European stage. Beatrice Borromeo is a woman who shows that one can be strong, independent, and determined while remaining a loving mother and wife. She demonstrates that true elegance and style lie not only in external brilliance, but also in how we live our lives, face challenges, and stay true to ourselves. Her story is an inspiration for everyone striving to find a balance between personal and professional life without losing their essence and meaning.